Hello students, today we will study the chapter named The Little Mechanic, written by Nathaniel Hawthorne. Nathaniel Hawthorne ranks among America's major authors. His novel, The Scarlet Letter, is considered to be a masterpiece of American literature. Hawthorne also wrote short stories, one of the collections being Twice Told Tales. Now students, let's start para-wise. Para 1. When Isaac Newton was born on Christmas Day in 1642 in the small village of Woolsthorpe in England. Little did his mother know what he would grow to achieve. Little did she know that he was destined to explain many matters which had been a mystery since the beginning of time. So students, Isaac Newton was born on the Christmas Day in 1642 in Woolsthorpe, a village in England. His mother did not know that one day he would become very big, or you can say famous, or he will do great things. And she had never thought that he was chosen to explain many matters which had been a mystery since the earth was made, or you can say a long time ago. Okay, means he was chosen to explain many things which was a mystery from a long time ago. Okay, now second para. Isaac was left in the care of his grandmother from the time he was a small boy. She was very kind to him and sent him to school. Even when he was very young, Isaac was very skilled in mechanics. He had a little set of tools and saws of various size that he had fashioned by himself. With the help of these, Isaac tried to make many curious objects. Many strange. Curious means strange, and fashioned by himself means made by his hands. Okay, and mechanics here is a study of machines. Okay, mechanics means study of machines. Now students, Isaac was brought up by his grandmother. She took care of him, or we can say she took a great care of him and sent him school. When Isaac was too young, he was expert in the study and the construction of mechanics. He had his own, means he has his own set of tools and saws. Saws means machine for cutting. You have seen the saws. Saw means for cutting of logs or other things. Okay, so he has his own set of tools and saw of a different size, which he had made by himself. It was not bought. Okay, it was not bought from someone else, or he has purchased, means he has he has designed, or he has made by himself, and with the help of these tools he tried to make many strange and unusual objects. Now, third para, the neighbor looked at the wondrous things which Isaac manufactured with great admiration, and his old grandmother was never weary of talking about her grandson. He will make a capital workman one of these days, she would say. No fear, but what? Isaac will do well in the world. Now, the neighbors saw at his wonderful things which he used to make, or which Isaac had made. So, people saw those things with great wonder, astonishment, with a great wonder and also with a great astonishment. And and she never gets tired of talking. His grandson, means the grandmother never gets tired. Very means tired. So her grandmother never gets tired of talking praises about about his, means about Isaac. Okay, about her grandson. About Isaac, you can say, or about her grandson. He will be an excellent worker. And also said that, there is no doubt that Isaac will do good in the world, as he used to make wonderful things. So by seeing all those things, she said that there is no doubt that Isaac will do good in this world. Fourth para, it is amusing to imagine what anticipation Isaac's grandmother and others formed about the things he might make in later life. Some of them perhaps thought he would make beautiful furniture and sell it to rich people. Others thought that Isaac would become an architect and would build splendid mansions and churches too, with the tallest steeples. Steeples means pointed towers. So, with the tallest steeples that had ever been seen in England. So, it was very humorous, or you can say very funny, to think that what hopeful expectations Isaac's grandmother and others had formed about the things which he might make later in his life. They think, or they were very sure, that he would be famous one day. They were very sure that he would become very famous one day. Even some of them thought that he would make furniture. Why it is very amusing? Because grandmother and other people were very sure that he would become famous one day. But what did they think about what he will become is quite amusing, that they thought that he would make furniture and sell to the rich people. Some thought that he would be an architect and would build marvelous mansions. Mansions means big houses, and churches with the pointed towers, which have never seen before in England. Fifth para, some of her friends no doubt advised Isaac's grandmother to send him for training to a clockmaker because besides his mechanical skills, the boy seemed to have a taste for mathematics, which would be very useful to him in clockmaking. Now, some of the friends of Isaac's grandmother advised her to send Isaac for the training of clockmaker because besides the mechanical skills, the boy was also good in mathematics, and he would and this would be useful in clockmaking. So besides the mechanical skill, Isaac was also good in mathematics. So isaac's Isaac's grandmother's friend advised them to send him for the training of clockmaker because besides the mechanical skill, he was also having a good knowledge about mathematics, and this would be very useful in clockmaking. Okay. Now, sixth para. Indeed, there was every reason to believe that Isaac would become a clock manufacturer. He had made a kind of clock that nobody had ever heard of before. It was a set to work not by wheels and weights like other clocks, but by the dropping of water. This was an object of great wonder to all the people in the Woolsthorpe. Now, it was true that there was every solid or a good reason to believe that the Isaac would become clock manufacturer. Why? Because he had made a type of a clock that no one had heard about it. It does not work on wheels and have does not have weights like other clock. Instead, it worked by dropping of water. So this made the people of Woolsthorpe filled with great wonder. Seventh para. Besides the water clock, Isaac made a sundial. Now his grandmother was never at a loss to know the time. The water clock would tell the time in the shade and sundial in sunshine. Besides the water clock, Isaac made sundial clock so that his mother would was never uncertain. Why he made that clock so that sundial clock, so that his grandmother was never uncertain, or his grandmother would never be uncertain about the time. The water clock was like that. The water clock worked in shade and sundial in sun. So water clock worked in shade and sundial worked in sun. Means the water clock would worked or tell the time in shade, and sundial would tell the time in sunshine, sunlight or sun. Now eighth para. Isaac had a wonderful ability to acquire knowledge by the simplest means. For instance, example, what method do you think he used to find out the strength of the wind? You will never guess how the boy would make that unseen, inconstant, and ungovernable wonder. The wind tell him the measure of its strength. Yet nothing can be simpler. He jumped against the wind, and by the length of his jump, he would calculate the force of gentle breeze, a brisk gale, or a tempest. Brisk gale means very strong wind. Tempest is also a violent, windy storm. Thus, even in his boyish sports, Isaac was continually searching out the secrets of nature. Now, Isaac had a special capacity of acquiring knowledge from various sources by way, or you can say from various sources, or you can say by various sources also, which, okay, so Isaac had a very special capacity of acquiring through different sources. Now you can imagine what method he must have used to find out the strength of the wind. Now we cannot guess how Isaac calculated the how the Isaac calculated this frequently changing and impossible to govern or control wind. How he must calculated the wind? I am saying in a simple language, how he must have calculated the wind, which frequently changes and which is ungovernable, means which cannot be governed. And he calculated it in a very simple way. He calculated by jumping against the wind, and with the length of his jump, he had calculated the force of the gentle, means soft, means you can say soft, yeah, gentle means soft breeze, then a strong wind, brisk, I told you, a strong wind, and or you can say a violent or windy storm. Even in his playish attitude, you can say, or his childish attitude, or in his childish sports, okay, because he was not that big enough, so we can say in his childish sport, in the childish in his playful manner, okay students, in his playful manner, he frequently he was frequently or regularly searching out he was frequently or and regularly searching out the secret of nature. Okay student, so in his childish means because being so he was not so big, so in his childish, in his playful manner, in his playful attitude, he was continuously searching out the secret of nature, because he was not that big enough. Okay students, so at that age he was trying to find out, searching continuously the secret of nature. Now ninth para, not far from his grandmother's residence was a windmill which operated on a new plan. Isaac was in a habit of going there frequently and spending hours examining its various parts. While the mill was at the rest means it wasn't moving, he examined its internal machinery. When its both sails were in motion by the winds, he watched the process by which the mill stones were made to revolve and crush the grain that was put into the hopper. His sharp mind grasped every detail as he watched it. Now, so students, near his grandmother's house, there was a windmill which worked on a new plan. Isaac frequently go there, means every now and then goes there and spent hours and hours in searching, in looking its various part, or you can say looking the various parts of windmill. When the mill used to be still, means when it does not work, he look the internal machinery, he survey, you can say, or he examine, you can say, the internal machinery. When the wind catching apparatus to the blade, means when you have seen the windmill, no, having a big blades, right? So when the blades of the mill started to move, okay, so when the big blades, when they start to move by the wind, okay, now you're getting, so the big blades of the windmill start to move by the wind. He saw the process. He saw the process by which the millstones revolves, and he saw that how the millstones revolves and crush the grains which was put into the hopper. Students, hopper is a V-shaped container through which the grains are poured or pass into the mill. Okay, so hopper are a V-shaped container through which the grains are passed into the mill. So he look the millstone, how it revolves, and also see how it crushes the grain which was put into the hopper. This sharp, so his sharp, and this he look all these process and catches everything in his sharp mind. Okay, this he catches in his sharp mind and grasp, means take in each and every detail, and grasp and take in his brain, in his head, each and every detail of it.